First impression creates very strong emotional response and very often determines whether the person who you are making the first impression to will like you or dislike you forever. Our brain has been wired to make these snap judgments about things around us, to save us from losing our life. But we don't need that mechanism in these days, but we cannot uninstall it, we cannot unplug it. So why not to learn to use it in our advantage so we can be better with people? We all are doing these snap judgments. We all are creating first impressions about people we are meeting at work, at home, as a customers, as people we pass by when walking from work to home, for example. We all do them. There are only two different groups of people. The first one that is aware of doing these snap judgments, and these people are willing to do something about their belief system and that first impression that they made on that person. On the other side, there are people that are not aware of doing these snap judgments, and it's problematic for them to work with it later on with that ability or that trait. So there is a little test to show you that we are all thinking something about people we see. I will play you a set of pictures, and with every picture you will make a judgment. You will make a judgment about the person who you see on that picture. You will think about them something. You will think about that they are maybe losers, maybe they are very successful, maybe they are rich, maybe they are poor. You will make some of these snap judgments. I am not telling it's bad, I think it's not bad, but I want you to be aware of yourself doing that so we can start working with that later on in the video. So the test starts now. So we already found out that we are primed to do some of these judgments when we see people, when we see things, when we see anything. Our brain is wired to evaluate everything that it sees, so we are in a safe environment. Because when we see something that might be dangerous for us, our brain wants to and needs to know that, so it could take some of the proper adjustments and measurements so we are getting out of that danger. And that is the reason why we are evaluating everything we see. We are judging everything that we see. We cannot unplug it. Some people are trying to do it. I hope they will one day achieve that, having that free mind from these judgments, but vast majority of people are doing these judgments. So in this video I'm going to tell you how to use them in your advantage, how to abuse these judgments in your advantage so you are better with people, so you are better bonding with people and creating better impression so you are treated better. The first point is to know what is your goal. How do you want to be perceived? What impression do you want to make? Do you want to be easygoing, friendly fella that is approachable, that will just make a good friend? Do you want to be a dominant macho that is ruling the room, that is ruling all place that he is at? Do you want to be perceived as a sophisticated thinker that is, I don't know, like a wise man? Or do you want to be perceived as a comedian? Do you want to, and you finish the sentence, you need to be aware of how do you want to be perceived, what impression do you want to send, and work on that identity later on. In this one we will go for a general, I don't know, approachable person who is easy to talk to and who is nice to be friends with. So the first thing after the goal, of course, is to be confident. You need to communicate confidence with your body. That's really important, because when you don't communicate that confidence, you will not be matched on the same equal level as the person that is being snap judged you at the moment. So when I'm confident, people see that I'm confident and they are matching me on the same level as they are, because they know I know my worth. They are doing it subconsciously, so you can't get mad about it. But when you are having non-confident, when you are having submissive body language, they are treating you as a submissive, and it's really uncomfortable, and it's really bad for you when you want to talk to that person later on, when you want to argument with that person later on, because your opinions will not be taken on the same level and same importance as the person that has made that snap judgments of you not being confident. But how to communicate that confidence? So the first very important thing in confidence is a shoulder position. Generally, when you are sitting like this, when you are walking like this, I see it a lot. People are having slumped shoulders when they are pushing forward. You can see that, and it's screaming unconfidence, and you don't want to have that. You want to push your shoulders back no matter what, and you want to hold that position no matter what. That confident shoulder position is the first precondition for being perceived as a confident, and it's really visible and one of the first places where people look at to determine how confident you are. So think about your posture, about your confident shoulder position. The second place is your head. Don't have lowered head. The best position is lowered head, shoulders pushed forward and sitting with the legs close to each other, probably even having crossed arms on and protecting the belly and the crotch area. That's really unconfident posture, and if someone sees that, they won't take you seriously even if you want to. So we have raised head, shoulders pushed back, and that is communicating confidence on a basic level, and then we gotta work on something more. Then how you stand, how you walk, be slower, take more space, and that is very important. These are important, but on the top of that, you have to have those confident traits. But very, very important thing is a smile. To create that approachable demeanor, you have to smile, and smile is I don't know how to stress that enough, but smile is the best body language trait that you can learn. So learn how to smile a lot, because smile is also communicating confidence. Not confident people are smiling in a slightly different way, but that's not the subject of the video right now. But the people that are confident allow themselves to smile more than people that are not confident. People that are not confident are waiting for confirmation that they can smile, but confident dominant people are not waiting for that. They are creating that permission for themselves, so they are smiling more than people that are unconfident. So dominant, confident, shoulder position, head position, walk, movements, slower movements, taking more space, and smile on the top of that, because smile is just very important. And there is a course about first impression which did quite a good at the rating. So that course that is about first impression has been voted as a top 10 courses in Great Britain about body language. So if you want to check that out, definitely check that out. It's down below in the description. I'll be very happy meeting you in that course. You would also be helping me to get a new camera and to improve my game on YouTube. So if you want to know more about first impression and how to nail first impression, there is a course down below that will surely help you a lot. Point number 3. Don't think about hands that much. There are several rules that you need to follow what not to do with your hands, but otherwise you can do whatever you want with your hands. That's not that important as people think it is. So it doesn't matter what you do in the hands most of the time. I'm just going to list those several rules that you must not do with your hands, but otherwise you don't care what you do with them. You understand? Good. Let's dive in. So you don't want to keep them behind your back. It's communicating untrustworthiness or maybe even like excessive dominance that you don't want to communicate. So don't your hands behind your back. Don't have your hands in a pocket. And if you must have them in pockets, never put all hands, like full hands, into the pockets. Always let your thumb being away from the pockets. Don't press your hands tightly against you. So like when you are sitting and you are having your hands on your thighs, never press them a lot. When you have crossed arms, which you can have by the way, never press them a lot because it communicates stress. Never have when you have crossed hands on your belly, never really like press it tightly, because any pressing communicates stress, and that's really not confident. And the point I've already mentioned, don't cover your belly with one arm, because some people are nervously nervously covering their belly with one arm and the other one is resting. The same is never put one leg behind your back and hold the other hand because it really communicates submissiveness, so you don't want to do it. These are really just several tips that you never want to do when you want to be perceived confident, but otherwise do whatever you want with your hands. Nobody is watching that much, and you won't be affecting your exterior that much with hands. So do what is comfortable to you. Point number 4, eye contact. Establish and maintain eye contact and never break it down. Look people in the eyes. Look in the eyes, because it is very important and it communicates strongly how do you feel. So look people in their eyes and never break it downwards. Point number 5, maintenance. You have to maintain yourself well groomed, clean, nice smelling, being dressed in a clean fitting cloth. That's really important. It communicates important message, so you always all the things that I've already listed. So maintain yourself. These are all 5 points that I wanted to cover in this video. And let me tell you why didn't I spoke about how to talk to the person, for example. These first impressions are made within seconds, and within seconds you don't have a chance to speak a lot. So the speaking is not being considered as a creating good first impression. What you want to do, your first impression is created how your body is communicating. Are you confident, not confident? What are you like by your body? Our brains are wired that way, and the first impression is created that quickly. But don't worry, that's not that serious. It is serious, but the experiment says that within the first 5 minutes you can slightly change the direction of the first impression. So when you are perceived very badly at the first impression, but when the people within the first 5 minutes of talking to you find out why was that, maybe they are willing to change their first impression within those first 5 minutes. But when you just screw that all along, you have mostly no chance of changing that first impression. So you want to get that right. You want to get your body right. You want to get your demeanor, your expressions right. So you are creating those nice, those powerful and long-lasting first impressions that are working on your behalf, because that is what counts and what works really well, and what I'm using for a long time now, and it went a long way with me and it worked well for me. And as I said, if you want to check that course, I'd be very happy meeting you in that course. It's down in the description. Do you have any questions, anything that you might want to communicate with me? So there is a comment section where I will be hanging out and waiting for your questions, for your notices or whatever you want to communicate with me. And if you want to improve in confidence, there's another course down below, and there is a video over here and the list over here, and you can subscribe over here, and we'll be checking out with each other on a weekly basis. And that's it probably. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.